Hello, welcome to the program Face the Fact on Global TV. My name is Topsy Gimba, your host. Face the Fact, as the program implies, gives you all sides of issues where we analyze them for your understanding. This evening, I want to tell you that indeed I have with me a renowned Nigerian, well respected indeed to be with us on the program this evening to tell us more about issues surrounding Nigerian body polity. He is a respected Nigerian within the cycle of Independent Electoral Commissioner. Is coming for FCT INEC in the person of Malam Aminu Idris to tell us more about the ongoing online registration in Nigeria, particularly with the belief that the residents of the FCT are getting prepared, particularly 2026 next year, February, there will be FCT area council election, and indeed the residents are prepared right from now to get themselves registered so that they will go out of order using their card as a symbol to determine who rules them at the end of the day. We have 6 area councils in the FCT, and that particular day, indeed, the election will be going around all over so that at the end of the day, we determine who are the chairmen and the councillors to represent them for another round of 4 years. It's a pleasure having you on the program this evening. The Commissioner Rec in the FCT. It's a pleasure having you, Malam Aminu Idris.
Thank you very much.
Yes, basically, sir, you are called to be with us this evening on this program. Looking at the name of the program, Face the Fact, is for you to tell us basically what do you mean when you say online registration.
Okay. First of all, I want to start by saying, you know that to participate in an election, you must be registered as a voter. So the process of registration has commenced. First with the online registration of voters. That is, you go to the INEC portal, you fill the form for registration, you provide all the information that you asked for on that form, and then you conclude the registration in the INEC office by taking your fingerprints and biometrics. So that concludes your registration, and then you await for the production of your PV.
Now, when you talk about online, is it only one aspect we look into, or there are other ways, aside from the online registration, there are other ways of doing it again?
Yes, additionally, from the 25th of August, I think that is Monday, we begin the in-person registration.
Physical?
Physical. That is, you show up at our INEC offices. For the moment, the offices are only the local government offices of INEC in the 6 area councils, as well as the INEC office in Area 10. So you show up in person and you get registered. And of course, your biometrics will be taken since you are there already in person. So that is another aspect. Okay. But it will run concurrently. The online registration will also continue as the in-person registration starts on Monday.
Okay. So concurrently, you
concurrently, it's going to run.
But right now, I made to understand that indeed you began the process of the online last Monday.
This Monday, yes,
right.
Yesterday.
So why the physical didn't go along with?
Well, the physical requires more preparations than the online. You know, the online, with your phone, you can do the online registration. With your phone, you can register yourself online. With your laptop or any device that can get you on the internet and get you on the portal. But the physical, you need to arrange for people to come in, arrange the queue, arrange people to be processed one after the other. Whereas with the online, 100 people can be online registering at the same time. So it is actually an improvement to the registration process to reduce all this crowded atmosphere that we usually have around this exercise.
Okay. Is it only when elections are about to take place that you come up with the idea of the online registration, or registration at all? Or is a continuous process where you keep doing that until another round of election comes up?
Yes, it is called the Continuous Voter Registration Exercise, CVR. It is required by law that registration continues until a certain legal term when you suspend it for the purpose of conducting elections.
Okay.
So we have started the process. I think it's going to be done in phases. The Commission announced that it will be phase 1 will start from 18th August to 10th December 2025. That's the phase 1. After the phase 1, there will be a display for people to come and check whether their names, their age, and everything is captured properly. And then, of course, the cards will be produced for that phase 1. Then we open phase 2 again, and phase 2 is supposed to start from 5th January 2026, and it continues. But of course, people know that FCT has an election coming up in February.
Yeah.
So FCT continuous voter registration will be suspended at one point.
Resident Electoral Commissioner, this is not the first time this exercise is being conducted in the FCT.
Yes.
For us to have present chairman governing the 6 area council, it means similar process must actually taking place.
Exactly.
What were the challenges you experienced at that time that you think you can make amend going forward in doing what you are doing right now?
Yeah, you see, part of the challenges expressed at that time is what led to the introduction of the online registration, using technology to ease the process. Because at that time, the process was so crowded because people wanted to register, especially towards the end of the period for the exercise. And we had an experience even at the Area 10 office where even the gate of the office was brought down at one point. So you see, that type of situation should be eased now, given the online registration process. People can register online and only come to the office to capture their fingerprints.
So by the time you get people registered, do they often come to collect their cards? And how do they collect their cards? Is it by placing an announcement on television or radio or papers?
Yes, some of the times you get SMS. Because when you register, we also ask for your telephone number. So most people will get SMS, that is with the ones we already registered, if their number is already there. But any new registration, the phone number is there. So you will get an SMS telling you that your card is ready for collection. So you now show up at the INEC office of concerning where your PU is. If you are registered in Gwagwalada, for example, you have to go to the Gwagwalada INEC office to collect your PVC.
Okay.
If you are registered in AMAC, you go to the AMAC office of INEC to collect your PVC. But you get an alert of SMS telling you your card is ready.
And it will tell you it's basically where you are going to get it.
You can even find your card on the portal of INEC.
Oh, okay.
When you put your VIN number, it will tell you where your card is and give you direction to go to where your card is.
These people are registering, is it anybody that comes or only those who turn 18?
No. It is those who turn 18 since the last registration exercise, which was 2022, and those who didn't get to register. If you have never registered before, this is your opportunity to register. Okay. And you've turned 18 since between 2022 and now. It's also your opportunity to register.
Do you have cards that are left unclaimed?
Yeah, of course. We have uncollected cards, so many.
You know why I asked you this question? Yeah. Because if you check Nigerian politics, there's this apathy surrounding Nigerian politics. And because people failed to do what they should do, so that at the end of the day, their votes will count. And they realized in the process of doing that, they couldn't get the desired result. Yeah. So, there's a drop in this enthusiasm to really to carry out that civic responsibility. Yeah. To an extent that maybe he doesn't see the reason of really going out to collect his card. Do you have such, and how many do you have?
Yeah, but actually, in terms of FCT, the collection is good. We have a 94% collection rate for FCT.
94%?
94%, because out of the 1.570 registered voters, about 1.476 collected their vote. The uncollected cards are about 93,868 for FCT.
93,000. Did you find out the reason as to why they couldn't come up?
Well, it will be.
Is it because of death, or probably this apathy among the electorates?
I think sometimes people just don't find the time to go and collect it. But we've tried to push forward the information that your card is ready. Because the commission is not to follow you with your card to your house. You to come and collect it in the office. So we have even collaborated with some CSOs to get people aware that their cards are ready. Now it is even easier. If you have your VIN number, you go to our portal, you can locate where your card is, and you go and collect it.
Can you paint the picture of how you got started yesterday? Can you estimate the number of people that came out to?
Well, I think the commission headquarters has the data of how many were registered.
At the point, as a reg, you mean either you or some other person designated to really go around?
There is somebody responsible for that.
Well, what result did you get?
At the ICT level.
What result did you get?
We got over 60-something thousand registered within 2 hours or 3 hours of opening.
Here in the FCT or
no,
nationally?
Nationally.
To you?
Well, subsequently, the commission is promising to release figures weekly to give you an idea of the registration process.
As a resident electoral commissioner, is that an impressive outing or there's a drop?
Well, it's a start.
You have been doing that for some
time. I know that usually we start slow with this type of process. As we're getting to the terminal dates, people all come out. It is normal. We have experienced this so many times. The turnout usually increases as you get to the end of the period provided for the exercise.
Yes.
So we expect that, and we are planning for that.
Now, we are made to understand that INEC introduced so many things like this by what do you call it? By voter.
By model.
Yeah, the one that either you use the face or use your hand.
Yes, it's an improvement on our device.
To come and can I say it has actually helped?
Because it now helps, because previously when you go to register, some people that have problem with their fingerprints, maybe because of the job you do or whatever. So it's difficult to get your fingerprints recognized. But the bimodal system now allows your face to be now used to recognize you and to allow you to vote. So that is the whole idea of the bimodal system. It now has multiple level of verification to verify you as a voter. You can use your fingerprint, you can use your face.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Well, this is just the beginning. We are going to still having you more and more on this discussion, because I believe you have come to realize that indeed the program gives you the opportunity to talk to your people who are actually in the FCT. We are going to take a short break. By the time we come back, we face the concluding part of the program, Face the Fact.
Thank you.
Welcome back. I have with me in the studio live and direct resident electoral commissioner, INEC FCT, in the person of Malam Aminu Idris, explaining to us the process that just started just yesterday, the online voter registration, and then to be continued with physical appearance until in October. This is done so that at the end of the day, those who are interested to go in and cast votes for those who are actually campaigning for elected positions in the FCT, come 2026, they cannot do that by going out and register. But there are certain things required. For you to do that, you must go out and register using online or appear physically and then to be captured. At the end of the day, cards will be provided for those who actually did that. If you fail to do that, it then means you are not determined to come out with who's supposed to govern or to rule you as a chairman or your councillor. And that's the more reason why we decided to invite the resident electoral commissioner to be with us and explain to us, basically those who are watching us right now, to get the feel out of what the process is actually going on. Now let me get back to you, sir. These unclaimed voter cards, could that have meant that some people intended to use it for some ulterior motive? Because you know, Nigerian politics, some other politicians might decide to ask members of the family to come out even to do more than multiple registrations, so that at the end of the day they will use that to make more votes for themselves to get whatever they want. Is that the case we're seeing here?
Well,
just be factual.
I won't assign motives to people, but I will tell you that PVCs are collected in person, not by proxy. So if you register and you get a PVC, you must collect it in person. That's the rule.
Yeah.
And we do not give PVC by proxy. So if you register with an ulterior motive and you come, you can't collect it in bulk.
Okay. The
persons that register must come and collect the PVCs themselves.
And that leads me to ask you this question, the multiple registration. Because I have a brother, for instance, he wants to go in for chairmanship of AMAC. And then because I believe until he gets more votes, that he cannot determine to become the winner. And in doing so, more votes determine the winner. Yeah. So, and I'm pushing my families to come and register multiple registration. Is the machine has the capability of detecting that?
Yes, of course. After the registration process, the commission also runs a system that checks for multiple registration. And for example, if you are already registered, let's say you are registered in Nasarawa State, and you want to move to vote in the FCT election, you go on the online portal, you can move your registration center, and then you get a new card. But you do not come and do a second registration just because you want to register, vote in the FCT. Because if you do a second registration, the system will knock out your new registration and recognize only your earlier registration.
So you mean my old card still functions?
Your old card,
if I had registered when Jonathan was in government?
Of course.
And I still have that card.
Your PVC is still valid.
Okay.
It doesn't.
There's no need for me to go out
come out and register again. It's only when you want to move your location that you go to our online portal and follow the process and move your location. Or let's say your PVC has an error in spelling of your name, because you can use your PVC as an ID card. Okay. And if there's an error in your name or your birthday, you may go to our portal and amend it. Okay. And then a new card will be issued to you subsequently. Okay.
Reg, as we are getting people who are turning 18 to register, we locally have those who are exiting the world by leaving the earth, as a matter of fact. That's death. Do you have a machinery to check your registration, those who have actually registered, but as a result of being mortal, they are no longer alive?
Yeah, but the responsibility for registering death and birth is with that of the National Population Commission. Okay. So the Commission has a collaborative effort with the Population Commission to get the death numbers, and we reduce them from the register. Of course, the Commission on its own also, when a well-known individual dies, you know him, he is a well-known individual. You can search his PVC and remove him from the register. Okay, that on your own part? On your own part, yes. Okay. Yes. Now, let me take you to the just concluded primary that was conducted in the FCT. I don't know whether that happened while you were there or it came after the exercise took place. I want to know. I was there. You were there. I'm made to understand, what can you talk about what can you say really about these? Some people are not feeling comfortable about the process. To an extent, some are even alleging that winners who won the election were given return ticket, what do you call it? It's some certificate of return, whatever it is called. And then those who lost out are again given in some area councils. And I can tell you categorically, I have a fact to that in Buhari area council, that really happened. Okay. And it has become a tussle between the winner and the loser, both having certificates of return. Yeah, I understand what you have said. Yes. I've even heard it. But what I can tell you is that the primaries are conducted by political parties, not by INEC. INEC monitors the activity and has its own report of who emerged as a winner at the primaries. And what the commission has done is they have entered the names of those who emerged as primary winners in our own system, whereby when the party comes to submit the name of the winner, it will meet with the name of the person who emerged from the primary. If it doesn't match, there will be a problem, and the party has to go through another process of explaining why there was a change of candidate. Okay. So the giving of certificate of winning a primary is the job of the political party. It's not the job of... But the question here is, as REC, Resident Electoral Commissioner, INEC, the names of winners are supposed to be in the portal of INEC. Yeah. And then the swearing in or to issue as a certificate to the winners or the winners at the local and state will be done by the governor or like in our own case, you are the one to actually... No, I think we shouldn't conflict election with primaries. Okay. Election, the issuing of certificate is done by INEC. By INEC. Primaries, the issuing of certificate is done by the political parties. By the political parties. Yes. Okay. It's only when the election comes on board, yes, you now do exactly INEC now issue certificates. Okay, yes. I understand the process. So what will you advise the people of, the residents of the FCT going forward? Well, I advise them that they should come out and participate in the CVR, because a total registered vote of 1.5 is still low for FCT. I think more people need to come and register. I urge them to come and exercise their right to register and be on the register of voters. And then come February, they should participate fully in the election. Of course, participate fully, peacefully, because without a peaceful atmosphere, you cannot talk of free, fair, and credible election. So I urge them to participate fully and be peaceful in their conduct. Do you have an estimated number that you foresee that's supposed to be registered? Like, for instance, looking at the strength of the population, I can't exactly give you a number, but you know that FCT is always expanding with new settlements, new areas, new housing estates. So with that, you already know that the voters list must increase, given that the expansion of the city.
So in your own assumption, how many wards do you have in those 6 area councils? And do you, in your estimation, the registration points, like there are so many villages that one needs to get into them before you access them. Otherwise, they don't even know basically how it goes about, rather.
Yes, that is why the commission said we are starting the in-person registration at the local government level. Eventually, we may move to the ward level to register, to give the people, to get closer to the people. We have gone on a tour of most of the chieftaincy settlements in the FCT, and a common complaint is that the location of the local government office and where our people are is a bit far, and people may have difficulty coming to register. But the commission will be looking at the exercise as it proceeds and be adjusting accordingly.
Are you equally making plans, contingent plans, to ensure that it doesn't really happen, so that at the end of the day, when you get there, be able to cross the bridge?
Yes, the commission is making nationwide plans, not just FCT, looking at all the areas that there may be congestions and there may be difficulty. And eventually the commission will announce additional registration centers as the process continues.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what do you do with the elderly?
Well, just like during...
for instance, I want to vote, but I can't move.
Yes, like during elections. At every PU, there are trained people to assist those who need assistance. People, PWDs, elderly, even ladies. Sometimes in some locations you see they split the lines between women and men, just to make it easier for the women to vote. And then, of course, the elderly get priority attention. If you are the elderly, we don't expect you to go and stand in the line at the back. You can come forward and somebody will assist you to sort of, let's say, jump the queue, because you cannot stay too long on that. There's always provision to take care of that, and the commission trains the staff to do that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
To what extent can you say the social amenities that we have, the scarce social amenities we have, actually inhibit, the success of getting what you desire as a result of the exercise you just started yesterday? Like, for instance, constant power failure, lack of good roads, and entirely a lot of myriad of problems associated with that. Until those things come into play, that the desired result can be estimated. But where you don't have those things in place, like the way we are seeing it right now in this country, particularly in the FCT, it becomes a problem. Yeah. To what extent can you say is inhibiting your success?
Well, it does not just our success. Those are societal challenges, not just for election or registration. If we don't have good access or good schools, because INEC uses schools a lot for election, and we need the facilities to be functional. Yeah. But as it is now, during our registration, we have backup batteries that we use. We charge our batteries that will last for the period of the exercise, usually in the mornings from 9 to 3 o'clock every day, weekdays only. And then we have the batteries that will work throughout that period. Okay. So we have backup batteries that we use for the registration exercise, as well as for the election. For the election. Yeah.
Just before we round off the program, we'll draw the curtains to it. I'm just asking you an opinion, but could be a fact. How much do you think federal government is spending to ensure that this exercise should take place, like the way it has just begun?
Well,
it's an opinion, and I'm not indicting you in any way, whatever you say.
Well, there are people responsible for that, actually. There are finance people, budget people. Everybody has his own responsibility. That's not part of my responsibility. No.
Okay. Yeah. Okay, thank you so very much, Resident Electoral Commissioner Malem Aminu Idris, for finding time to be with us on this program, Face the Fact.
Thank you very much.
Let me feel you.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
I appreciate it.
Yeah. Well, viewers, that's how far we can go, and we're drawing the curtains to the program, Face the Fact. I had with me in the studio Resident Electoral Commissioner, as INEC FCT, who actually spoke to us on the exercise that have just begun. They started yesterday, and like he said, the physical, we call it, come together, and then to terminate probably in October, and then another phase will come up. You all watched him and you listened to him. Face the Fact will come to you again next week with another package. My name is Topsy Gimba, and do have a very lovely evening. We are leaving the studio, and bye-bye.